Yo, what's good everyone? It has been a little while. Long story short, mid-August, I was literally just out listening to music on my speaker, meeting up with my friends, and then picked up my phone and my camera literally stopped working. Like, just stopped working. I've got a new phone now. I've actually got my old phone here, so I had 15, obviously it's a bit cracked, but I've had that crack for a while, and it's never like interfered with the camera, but I can't show you like that the camera don't work, but the camera don't work, Face ID, the flashlight, and that. But I have a new phone. I've had a new phone for a little while. Obviously this video is going to be an update of all the stuff that's happened, good and bad, and like just a mental catch up, to be honest, because I've been meaning to do this video, but obviously we'll start this video saying that I've got a job. So all I've been doing is just working and then sleeping. I feel like all I'm doing right now is sleeping, and some days I'll sleep for like 13 hours, 12 hours, one day I slept for 15. The job I'm actually working for is Lidl's. If I move out the way, move my chair, you can see my uniform is on the radiator. But yeah, started on the 16th of October. Interview went fine, obviously went fine because I got the job. I was on this thing called People's Plus, which the job centre referred me to. I was having meetings with them and stuff like that, but they wasn't the ones who gave me this little job. I just applied for Lidl's off my own back, and then it was kind of random. They just came back to me, and I was like, oh, because obviously I was applying for so many jobs. So my second interview, because I actually had another one before this, it was at Tesco's, and that was like weekends, and it was 8 hours Saturday, Sunday, so part-time. Did the interview. I think the interview went really well. I had 2 references. I think it went fine, but I somehow didn't get it. But you know, I had that, didn't get it, obviously unlucky. But then had a second interview, which was a little bit after, which was for Lidl. And then I came in on a Thursday, would have been the Thursday before the 16th of October, and they said, oh no, you start next week. And I was like, oh, okay. I can't lie, when I first thought I was originally supposed to start, I was really nervous, because obviously I haven't worked before, so I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, okay, how do I use the tools, or how do I do this, and I didn't know if they was going to train me or whatever. So I was kind of like just up all night, tossed and turning, and I was generally nervous. Like, I just couldn't get rid of the nerves. Then I was walking to like obviously work, and then when I got there, they were like, oh, you don't start till next Thursday, and it was kind of like it just instantly left my body. And then when next Thursday came, everything was alright. And with me, if you've watched my channel, you know that I say like I'm not the loudest speaker, and I'm an introvert and stuff like that. But I wasn't even talking to people thing I was worried about. I was more worried about like, okay, how am I going to do this, how am I do that, because I didn't know if I was going to get trained or not. So I was more focused on that. I was neglecting the worry of, oh, talking to these people and that. So that's made me talking to people easier. Like, most of the time, I'm not really talking, obviously, because you're at work, you know, you're just doing your own thing. I have small talk, I talk to people. If I don't know what I'm doing, obviously I'll ask, etc. Been there for like a month now, obviously 16th of October, it's the 23rd of November. Yeah, 23rd of November. I was just checking my watch. Had my first paycheck. I got paid at the end of October. It's £13 an hour, and I'm on contract for 20 hours for the first 3 months. If I want to do more, I can. At the moment, with how I'm feeling now, I don't want to do more. I'll get into why. But yeah, I think after tax, it's about £900 roughly. I was supposed to have work today, but I wasn't feeling it because yesterday I had like this pain in my ear, and it was coming like all on my face, like, and my eardrum popped, and everything was just like fuzzy and like just hurting, and like I was really irritable. And then I don't like saying I'm ill, but blocked up nose and stuff like that. Just not feeling so great, and had a 10-hour shift today. So just like, you know what, I'm just not really feeling it. Like, I'm really not. So I said, look, I'm not feeling well. It was from 6:30 to 4:30 p.m. So store shuts at 4 on a Sunday. So it would have been 30 minutes after closing. Um, Most of the people are alright. There are a few people kind of strict and professional, but that's their job. They're like, you've got customer assistants, then you've got store managers, and the thing is, there's lots of store managers. It's not just like one. You have the main head one. It's this guy, but he's taken over for the woman who interviewed me. She's in different little stores, so he's taken over while she's gone. He's like the head store manager, and then there's others. There's this one woman who's just flat out rude, in my opinion. Just like the way she was speaking to other people on the headset, and even when she's like trying to joke to colleagues that she knows or be nice, you just still hear that negative tone. But it's like I was so excited for work, and I went into work and I'm like, damn, like I've done my room and stuff, as you can see on another poster there. I got like this little thing over here for my books and stuff. I thought this was wood, and then it's like plastic and metal, so it's a bit tacky, but at least my stuff's not in a bag, because I had it in a bag right in the corner. I'm not actually recording off my tripod either. My tripod's here, but where I've got my new phone, it's too heavy for this, so this bit just drops. So I've got like this little thing that I got because I thought I was going to go on holiday for the first time with my girlfriend, but then it ended up like just money situation and timing and stuff like that just didn't work out. So it's like stuff that you can watch on your phone when you're on a plane. So that's why I'm recording this. That's why the angle's a bit more like lower. But yeah, with my paycheck, I got paid 550, so I just done my room, gave my girlfriend like money, like helped her fix her car, takeaway, or like just food going out or whatever, waters, just basic food and water, just stuff like that. I got paid 515, and I got my universal credit because they didn't realise that I got a job. I did text them, but they didn't see the message, so I still got 300, so I got 300 back. And then it takes a month to close, so when I get paid at the end of this month, I think I get one more payment for universal credit, and I think my last meeting is on the 5th of January. They said we can talk about payments or stuff like that, like if I want to change my universal credit or stuff like that, but I don't need to be greedy, you know what I mean? I guess more money's more money. If I can get, but like at the same time, I've got a job, you know what I mean? If I want more money, I guess I'll just do more hours, or stick with the money I got now. But yeah, so before tax it's like 1,125, I'm pretty sure, and if it's 20% off, it goes to like 900, basically, from what I figured out. But I'm not Albert Einstein, so my maths could be wrong. But yeah, I've done my room. I got lots of stuff for my birthday, because it's my birthday 3 days before I started. So people got me stuff for like my room. I'm thinking of doing a video for like a room tour of like a 21-year-old, so I can look back in the future from the position I'm in then to now, and just look at like the difference of how I was living now, the stuff I have now. Do you know what I mean? Because like right now I have a PlayStation. That's another thing. I picked up gaming again. Obviously, like I said, I'm a gaming addict. I quit for a full 2 months. Maybe played like one. No, I think I quit fully for 2 months, and then I played like once, then twice, then I've like smoothed back into it. I pretty much play every other day or daily, but obviously I'm working, stuff like that. Sleep is good and bad. It's like I'll have a day where I don't have work, and I just want to stay up, because depending on the shift, I'm just like knackered, and I just want some free time, you know what I mean? I've just done all that work, and then I'm like, sleep. So it's like your brain naturally craves that free time, especially me. I love my own company, and going from having that much free time to all of a sudden working, I'm naturally like looking for that free time. So then I'll watch something, and I'm like stay up late on my phone or whatever, and then it's like, then I'll be tired, and then I go to bed early for work. So then I'm going to bed like early or late. Last night went to bed like 2, 3. I just fell asleep. Like, I just went and fell asleep. I was trying to get something on my projector, because I got a projector as well for my room, and it was just being long, so I just put the remote down and just went to bed. And then I woke up at what time was it? I think I woke up at like 7, and I started work at 6:30 to call them to let them know. Because I called yesterday and they said just let the people know who are on shift that you can't make it, but they didn't answer, and then I fell back asleep and got up at like 12. Now it's 2:30 or 2:40. But yeah, with work, obviously it's good having money, but now I'm thinking like, now I have money, I'm struggling to think of what I want. It's always like it's just like that saying, you always want what you can't have, kind of. It's like, I've got a job and I'm kind of like, I wanted it for so long, I was applying so much, and now I've got it and I'm like, like, you know what I mean? But I saw this Instagram reel of this guy. I followed him on Instagram, just like a random influencer, and he does like electrician in like a desert. I don't know what country. I don't know if it's Australia or something, but it was like a sand like place where all the sand's blown in your face, just like really really hot. And he's got like all these construction clothes on, and he's saying he's doing like 12 to 14 hour shifts. And I'm like, if I'm like tired and shit, exhausted from my job, and this guy's still going gym and shit like that, because my gym's not been consistent. It was when I first started, because obviously, like the shifts, obviously it's the same hours, but they were giving me more like 5 hour shifts and like earlier in the morning, which I prefer. A lot of my shifts are like start at 5 a.m. That's like a lot of my shifts like 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. But yeah, so well, today was 6:30, but obviously that's because I had a 10-hour day. So and I think the shop opens a bit later on a Sunday. But what do we call it? Yeah, so it's like very mixed opinions. Like one thing will make me think, oh, I don't want to be here. Like I just want to quit already. And then when someone's like being nice and they're like, yo, come over here, I'll show you how to do it. And it's like, oh, I can do this. I still haven't done tills or bakery shift, but I've done cleaning the bakery, like sweeping the floor, sweeping the trays, writing them off, putting them in the bin. I've done putbacks where you put things just back in the aisle they belong to. Write-offs are like where if they're damaged, they're broken, giving them to charity, stuff like that. I've done self-checkout. That's what I've been doing a lot lately, or pretty much the only thing. And that's just like an AM shift. In the AM shift, the deliveries come in the morning. So the store opens 8 a.m. So, and then on a Sunday it's like 10 a.m. pretty sure. So 3 hours just doing like meat and poultry, the chiller, stuff like that. I've done pallets, obviously, pulling the pallets down the aisle and then putting them back. My speed is obviously like, because obviously not worked before. So I'm like kind of getting the hang of it. But like I said, there's 2 people that just like kind of, well, I said there was 3 that are like strict and professional, but 2 of them are giving me like a bit of yap. I was doing something, I was doing milks, like milk cages. That's another thing I've done. And then someone said, oh, can you put all the back stock, that's where you put it back in the warehouse or in the chiller if it can't fit. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then I did some of the milk cages, came back to do another milk cage. And then she was like, oh, can you do the D pallets, like get it from the front? And then I was like, yeah, sure, give me 2 seconds because I'm doing this first. Consult and ask, which is name of the guy that, what do you call it, asked me to put the back stock away. And then she comes back and she's like, when I ask you to do something, you do it. And I'm like, who are you talking to? I get like, your store manager, and I've been there like a month, you know, pick up the pace, but you don't have to be like rude like that. Obviously I didn't go like, like do you know what I mean? But I was just like, well, I got obviously told to do the milk, so I was finishing them, and then Zoltan, the guy, he told me to finish with the back stock. She said, yeah, but you listen to me because it's more important. It's like first impressions because the customers. And I was like, yeah, but he asked me. And she said, no, I asked you first. I said, no, he did actually. And then she's like, you didn't say that. I said, I did, but you walked away. And then she's like, whatever, and walked off. So I obviously wasn't being rude, but I just wasn't like, sorry, because I didn't do anything wrong. I get she asked me, and I know it's more important. But like, she literally said herself, oh, if he asked you first, then you should have done that. And that's what happened. that's obviously why she walked off and said, right, whatever, and I'm not apologising because I didn't do anything wrong. If I'm generally in the wrong, like, yeah. And then, what you call it? And then, the next day, I went to work, and I was literally 2 minutes late maximum. I say maximum because I got into the shop at 4:30 p.m. and that's when my shift started. But obviously, where it was like a little bit into 4:30, it took me about 30 seconds to get to the entrance to the staff room, so it was 41 past. And then they were like, "You're late. We've already called in and told the manager that you're not coming in." Bro, you didn't even give me a minute. Like, do you know how dumb that is? It's so stupid. And then it was like, "You didn't call us." I was like, "I don't have a number." It's like, what? A minute? I get it if I was like 10 minutes. Like, even 10 minutes, that's understandable. Even 5, but 1 minute? Like, bro, not even a minute, like maybe even 30 seconds. 30 seconds to 2 minutes, and you're already calling manager saying I'm not in. Like, what? I just find it stupid. So I generally said, obviously, like, I'm not even late. And they're like, well, it's past the time you start. But I was like, I still said my bad to one of them because obviously they're like nice or whatever. But her, I didn't say like my bad or anything to her because like I was like, eh. But then when she was leaving, I was like, look, my bad that I'm late, but what you call it, I didn't have a number, and I thought I was obviously gonna make it in time. But what you call it, I did make it in time, but obviously in time for when they're saying. She was like, yeah, it's fine, just next time call. That's like the politest she's spoken to me, by the way. So it's like whenever she's on shift, I'm like, oh. And then the other one is just more like, I think professional just gets stressed. She's trying to do everything quicker. My last shift that I had, so what was it now? Sunday, so Friday, I finished at 10:30, and I started at 3 p.m. So, we finished at 11, 30 minutes later, because I was like, she said, do this, do that, do this, and I was like doing it as fast as I could, but then I'd have to stop, do that, do this, do that, and I'm just like going back and forward and doing stuff, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I'll clean that, spray that, close that, open that, put that back, and I get that's obviously what work's about, and I get I've been there for a month, but it's just like that attitude, and then she thought I left the store, but like the door was locked and I haven't been shown how to like unlock the door when you're leaving, because obviously closes at 10, the shop, so you had to close it for customers. And then she's like, 3 hours put back, oh my god, why does it take so long? And then I come back out the door, but I can hear obviously like through the thing, and I'm like, oh, how do you open it? And then she sees stuff on the till that I didn't see, and then this guy, he's actually like really nice, he was like, just go mate, they're just stressing. She's like, come back and do it now, you can't leave it like this. So I quickly done it, and then she's stressing out like, you need to make sure. I do get it, but like, you don't have to be on my case that much, and like, it's gonna be shown. In my head I was like, just be quiet. But I get that's what works like, I guess that's what people's like, but yeah, it's just still a bit annoying, isn't it? I just feel like it's going to get to a point where they're going to be disrespectful, and I'm just going to like, not like bite at them and shout, but I'm just not going to, well, that's what I'm doing anyway, I'm just not going to people please me, like, I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's just going to end up me getting fired or something. I was generally thinking of like another job, because I'm someone who likes to look at the positives, but despite the positives, like the negatives just outweigh it so much. Like, it just seems miserable. Nobody wants to be there. I don't want to be there. When there's people who are like on my shifts, it makes it better. Like, the time goes quicker. I'm like, oh, you know, it's not as bad. But when there's people that's just like nobody I really gel with, even if they're nice, but I just don't gel with. That's gel. I don't even know what I'm saying. But like, say if they're like nice, but I haven't spoken to them that much, you know what? That's still quite fun. But when it's like all people that like, oh, just a bit, it's just kind of like, oh, Lord help me. But you know, at least I'm not in another country, like struggling to like, you know, provide for my family. There's people out there who have to like walk miles to bring food for their family, or like they work in like coal mines, or they like that have jobs that are so hard you can't even fathom. This isn't Mission Impossible, but just from naturally going from just having my free time, going gym, doing whatever, to naturally working, you're naturally going to get tired. So like I said, I just haven't gone gym, no excuses, I just don't feel it, because obviously that's like a bitchy thing to say, and I am gonna obviously continue going to the gym. I've been a few times. My best friend made me, which is good accountability. Because obviously I was saying, look, I haven't been, I think it was like 11, 12 days. Obviously it's not been that many now, because obviously went, but it's like, it's good accountability, because I was just like, all I'm doing is sleeping, and I wake up at like early hours in the morning and stuff like that. And not to go on a sidetrack, but obviously this video is a mental catch up, but with like my drive and my ambition and hunger, I feel like it's died down a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. Because, like I said in one of my videos, I feel like I'm going backwards. Obviously, I think that's the last video I've done. I said like how I had to do bigger and better things now, and it's harder for me to do that because the external confidence it takes and stuff like that. And it's also like the drive and ambition. Before I was all new to the stuff, I was like, yeah, I'm going vegan, I'm doing this meditation, I'm doing this and that and that. Like, obviously I'm ambitious and passionate with all the things I'm doing, but it's kind of like, I used to go for like runs more, now I'm just like, nah, the time, no, I'm tired. I feel like, for some reason, my brain's making more copes and like excuses, and I'm aware of it. And it's really interesting and weird, because in that regard, I am going backwards, because it's like, I used to have that more of like, and that just sounds weird, but like, I used to have more of that, like, obviously, like I was talking about my videos, but I think it's also a mix of, I don't know how to ever fully word this, but I kind of spoke about in my last few videos how I had that spiritual mindset, now physical, and now I view things more in a physical way. It's kind of like my brain looks at it in a more realistic tone, and that can lead me to think negatively and stuff like that. So when I'm at work, for example, my brain's like pinging all over the place, like on autopilot, do this, do that, unless I'm like fucking looking at my watch. There's one shift where I was actually proper like conscious, I just couldn't stop thinking in my head, like proper like, help me, and that was my last shift. But yeah, I'm just like autopilot, like just pinging about. And when I'm at work, like I said, it's just like, oh, no one wants to be here, I don't want to be here, oh, it's negative. So I'm automatically like the negative, because my brain's like, well, this is the truth, this is a like realistic like answer, nobody wants to be here. So it's like, I'm automatically like, oh, it's negative. But before, I kind of had almost a sense of delusion where I'm always right, you need to do this, you need to do that. And because I was doing that, it's kind of like, I still think so differently. Like, I used to think money was the root of all evil. I still like do think it is, like, to some degree, but my perspective and opinion has changed. Like, my thoughts and opinions change all the time, due to experiences of what I see, research, videos, books, all that stuff. But it's kind of like where I had that spiritual like little circle I trapped myself in. My brain was so different to how it is now, but now it's kind of like I'm thinking so realistically of different things. I'm thinking of like my money and my future, when before I was thinking about crystals and meditation and like stuff like that. Obviously I still do that stuff, but you get what I'm trying to say, like the priorities were different, because now I've gained all of that stuff and ascended in that part. I'm now trying to ascend in this part, so now I'm focused on that, but the knowledge of that doesn't necessarily require me to make money. Like, obviously meditation, you can make money from doing a meditation course, this and that, but like obviously start off with a job first. That's something physical, where you don't need to be like Albert Einstein and read books daily to get a job. You know what I mean? It might be in the future, it took me 2 to 3 years, but you get where I'm coming from. It's kind of like my brain shift is totally different, so I see things in such a realistic tone, to where I feel like I'm not in that positive bright light anymore, like where I felt like I'm the embodiment of peace. I'm not saying like, oh my god, I'm suicidal, and obviously in the last videos I looked a bit more down and stuff like that, and like upset, but now I'm not upset. I'll give updates to do stuff for my dad, and obviously another thing was the situation in terms of my progression and money and stuff. But obviously money's going to help with a lot of things. But it's weird, because like I said, when you're at work, you're like dun 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 dun. So I'm not even thinking about the money. I'm not like, I'm doing this shit for my money. I'm just like, I'm just fucking there existing on autopilot. So it's not even like I have that motivation to like, I'm doing this for the money. I'm just vibing. I'm just there. And then now I've got the money, I've done my room, like got that shelf, got some new books, shoe rack, new mattress, stuff for my room, shelf post, I project the curtains, like lots of like bits to just do up my room, because obviously couldn't do that. Well, I could have had £300 from Universal Credit, but obviously there's different things that obviously needed to buy, like food and water and stuff. And where I had less money, it was more important to save that money for that. But now, it doesn't matter if I buy this stuff, because I'll still have more money left to get that. But it's like, yeah, now I'm like seeing things in like a realistic tone. And I just find it really interesting, and I can't explain it or captivate what I'm trying to say, like to the best of my ability, because I know what I mean, because it's happening inside my brain, but you don't. It's just like, I feel like a totally different person, but still the exact same person in a weird way. Not in terms of progression or anything like that, but in terms of how my brain has just, because I still have the same beliefs with a lot of things and stuff like that, but it's just the way I view it. Like before, I still do it now, but like I'm big on like energy and stuff like that. So like, oh, when you see someone, the energy they give off, the vibe and stuff like that. And then when I'm at work, it's like I'm not thinking of their energy. I'm just thinking this person's rude and they're a prick. like, you know what I mean? I'm not thinking is there a demon latched on to them? Is there some? Like, I'm not thinking like that. And it's really interesting how your priorities of how you think in your brain switch. And I don't know why I find simple things in life so like cool and beautiful. It's just like, and like it's just like physique, how your physique just fucking changes, like, and you can literally have like a fucking Greek god physique from being skinny or fat. It's just like, how the fuck does like a body do that, or like a woman giving birth, like how is that even possible? Do you know what I mean? It's just simple things like that. Or like when you lose fat, the fat goes back into your bloodstream, and it's like, it just disappears. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just find stuff like that, like, pew. And with like work, I've been a bit iffy with my routine. Like, I'll just do like kind of like half of it of like whatever. Obviously, like gym's obviously part of the routine. I said I didn't go for like a little while, so it's kind of like a bit all over the place. Haven't hooved my room for a bit, and I'm gonna do that after this video. I need to make sure I do it, because I've just been like sleeping. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then like, I don't. I've just been procrastinating with making this video and hoovering. So that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't hoovered in maybe like a month. Before I was doing it like every week or every 2 weeks. So when I'm walking around and I see like little bits there, I'm like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, once a month don't sound bad, but you can see like it's a little bit. I'm not saying I live in a fucking trampy band. That's what I mean. But you can tell, like, well, I can tell, because I'm procrastinating about that. I can see a little bit of dust. If you came in my room, you wouldn't fucking notice. It's just that I know what I need to do, and I'm not. But yeah, another update for this video. Obviously, I'm in a much better mental space now than my last videos, because I was upset for many different reasons, like my positioning, stuff to do with my dad, obviously not getting a job, feel like I'm not progressing. But obviously all of that has like flipped. The same week, maybe even a couple of days, I got that first interview for Tesco's. My dad reached out because I was talking to one of their friends, and I wanted to send a letter to like reach out to my dad. Do I still have the... I don't know where the thing is. Yeah, here it is. I've got the letter here. I'll read it if I can open the paper. It says, "Dear Dad, hello. I know it's been a while, but I would like to get back in touch with you. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure what to write in this letter. All I know is that I have missed you and still love you no matter what. So this letter is to break the ice and hopefully have contact again. If you're interested, here's my number to contact me," and then obviously put my number. "I hope you are doing okay. I'm 21 this year. I'm 21 now, because my birthday is October 13th. Obviously we're in November. Crazy how time flies. I've still wanted to see you and miss you this whole time. If you do want to build a relationship again, please text my number so it notes you. I understand if you don't want to, but I'd really like to speak to you. Love, always, Precy. My girlfriend wrote it, as you can see, neat handwriting. I just told her what to write, so it still like was authentic and came from me. I didn't fucking like chat GPT, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then before I could even send the letter or anything like that, I think I let their friend know, but I just didn't send the letter. His girlfriend messaged me saying, "Oh, here's your dad's number," and then he texted me, and I was like, "Damn," because last time I actually saw him was 11. Last time I spoke to him was in 2020. I think I was like 15, and there was like an argument, and I said some horrible things, which I am sincerely like apologetic for, but I'll get into this in a second. We was talking, everything's fine. He's texting me like about work. I'm saying, do you watch anime? I was saying, obviously, I watch Attack on Titan, as you can tell, it's my favourite. I said like, what are your hobbies, stuff like that. And then I was obviously updating him about, yo, I got an interview, so my life was like, I'm not progressing. I feel like I'm going backwards, no job, no contact with my dad because I miss him. And then like my dad's contacted me and I got an interview. It's like boom, and then boom. It's like crazy how things can change. And then we're texting, and then after like a week, he sends like a message saying, "Oh, with you, I never wanted to send you my number. I can't forgive like the horrible things you said, da 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 da. And I don't want to build a relationship. I just texted you because I didn't know what to say." Which at first I was kind of like, well, whether it's him or not, like his girlfriend making him say that, or actually him, he was texting me off his own back. Like literally said, "Good luck on your interview today." So he remembered that I had an interview, cared enough to message me when I woke up and texted. If you really, really, really didn't want to talk to someone, you wouldn't. If I don't want to talk to someone, I know I'm not talking to them. Do you know what I mean? If I don't want to do something, I know I wouldn't. So there must have been an inkling of something to continue texting. But whatever that was, it's gone now and I'm wrong. Gone past what's happened. So then, I just didn't text back, if they don't want me to text them or whatever, and he doesn't want a relationship, I don't need to text back. So okay, I'll just go on with my life. Was doing that, and then they followed me on like Instagram, like TikTok, made a YouTube account, pretended to be like a mind worker, and all this different stuff, and like was texting and commenting me, my girlfriend, and following us and stuff like that, obviously to get a reaction, and I just ignored it. I can't be asked to entertain some dumb shit, like, they're adults. Like, I'm an adult myself. I'm trying to be a man. I'm aspiring to be a man. I'm not trying to do this petty play of giving into their games. So I'm ignoring it. And then September 18th was like last message. Get that stuff off the internet or something like that. Because I made a video, obviously, where I was upset saying I miss my dad and I have trauma there, because I went through trauma there because stuff that has happened. If you look on my YouTube comments, you can see it all, or whatever. I've screenshot all the messages and everything, just for like looking back at them like in the future and see like, like how that's affected me and like stuff like that. Because people, when I told them what happened when I lived there, they were like, how could you even want to see him and stuff like that? But it's kind of like, well, I think I was stupid now, or like then, for wanting to see him despite what happened, or is it just a natural thing 'cause it's your dad and you miss and love them? But now I've seen their true colours and what they're actually like. It's kind of like, I actually don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I was kind of like, you know what, he might have changed, he's working now and stuff like that, and we was texting and everything was like fine. But then the true colours came out, whether that was actually him or her, as a man especially, you shouldn't be letting your girl walk all over you and control you to where you're not even allowed to talk to your own son. That's not what a man is. Like, do you know what I mean? That's just being a like people pleaser. That's just being pussy whipped. But either way, it's either him or he doesn't care enough and he's allowing it, or he's getting forced to say those things or do those things. So either way, it doesn't matter because it comes to the same conclusion. That's why I didn't text back. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to contact either of them, you know what I mean? So I didn't text, and then obviously he wants the video taken down of me being upset, saying I have trauma, saying he's gonna call the police. Yeah, mate, you're gonna call the police because I said I have trauma. Okay, well, they're gonna be like, what do you want us to do? It's just like very stupid. And if they call the police, like, it's just they're gonna be fucked, like, because of the stuff that happened to me when I was there and the stuff that they've done. Do you know what I mean? But what you call it? They think I'm like 10 because they're like, the police, we got your address. Like, they're trying to use these words as if I'm scared. Like, ooh, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, when you don't like someone and then life continues, say a couple years down the line, you're still stuck on that old version of them that you don't like. So people may not like me from a few years ago, but I'm so different, it's not even comparable. You wouldn't even like think I'm the same person. So they're stuck on the old version of me, not knowing how I've changed, because obviously they don't know me, because obviously we don't talk. So they still think I'm that same person when I'm generally not. And what I said that was horrible was I said some racist stuff about my dad's girlfriend's daughter, and that's when obviously I was saying racist things. I'm not racist now, and I don't say anything like that, and I actually don't agree with racism whatsoever. But yeah, he doesn't obviously like that, which I understand, but I'm not apologising for that in the form of begging or an exchange, because what they did when I lived there, I literally went through abuse and torture, and it was way worse than anything I said. And the other thing that I said was, I'm glad the baby died, is in my sibling, because their baby died and blamed it on like stress. I caused them stress when I was living there and stuff like that. I don't know how I was causing stress when I was the one getting like fucking abused and shit, but you know. But yeah, so they made all like these different accounts to like get a reaction, and then 18th of September they was on about, oh, you met your granddad, so my dad's dad, he obviously doesn't talk because he says he's like a racist murderer, which obviously I don't agree with, of course, but like I said, people change. Obviously prison has taught him how to be a different person, and you can change for like two ways: change out of fear or actually change. And if someone changes out of fear, it's not always good. So what I mean is, say if for example, let me use racism. So say someone's racist, but they're not racist anymore because all their friends are from different cultures and stuff like that, and are different races. Are they generally not racist, or is it because their friends are from different cultures? But say if someone generally stops being racist because they're like, damn shit, this is actually bad, and then that is actually coming from the heart and from their own mind. And that's what happened with me. But it's like, most people are racist and think it's normal, but it's generally not like a good thing. It's like people in songs and stuff like that sing it, and the worst thing is my dad's racist, and so is she. They literally say the P word themselves. So Pakistani, but shortened. And people don't even see that as racist, but now, like I said, I'm totally different, where I don't agree with it. Obviously, I was young, not an excuse, but I've heard my mum say it, my family, my dad say it, and I hear it in songs. So when I was younger, I just naturally said it, so you don't realise how bad it is because you're so young, you don't know the meaning. But then when I actually started like researching, and when I actually started going on self-improvement and stuff like that, I realised how bad it actually is. And I apologise to the people that I was racist to, like the people that I've said horrible things. I didn't apologise to them because obviously didn't reach out or talk to them, and I wouldn't have anyway. But it's like, I'm obviously apologetic for saying those horrible things about my siblings because they've done nothing wrong. But obviously I was angry, I was a kid, and I let my emotions get the better of me. And not an excuse, but from what their messages are and how they're sending them and like stuff like that, they're acting like children. So the emotions are clearly getting the better of them. And as someone who's like trying to aspire to be better, I'm trying to control my emotions better so I can handle like situations better. And like logically, if you're just always like like crying, you're never going to be able to solve something, if you're always angry, you need to let these things out so you can control them. And that's why I let those tears out last time. I haven't been upset since. I guess I've been stressed from work and just tired, just stressed and tired. I feel like I haven't really had my mental time to myself as much as I normally would, in terms of like, obviously, like I said, I'm doing half of my routine, or I'm like doing it all, but it's a bit because I'm just like sleeping, or I just want to chill, so I'm putting it to the side. So it's kind of like I'm not having that much as present time as I used to. Do you know what I mean? Where I'd be like, do my journaling and gratitude. It's like I still do it, but like obviously I was doing it daily. So it's like I have that present time. Or like when I would do my videos, just talking to myself. I haven't really done any. I've done a few since work, but it's like I haven't had that set in stone time when I'm in the present. Do you know what I mean? When I'm like, actually, I just feel like I'm just autopilot. So I guess you say a bit more stressy. Just haven't had so much me time, and if I do, I'm occupied by something. But we got a job, we're getting our money. Now it's like, obviously, where from here in terms of money. I'm gonna finish up the stuff to do with my dad, then we'll move on to that. So yeah, and then they texted again like, oh, you haven't taken this stuff down, da 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 da. After 2 months, by the way. So they clearly like arguing about it or whatever. I don't know. So 18th of September, and then it was like that 8th of November or something. I don't know. And then they go on my YouTube, like this YouTube obviously, and they're like commenting stuff like about the videos. And then they had me to a WhatsApp call. I was having a lay in the day, they rang me. I saw it was them two on a call and 100 notifications. I muted and went back to sleep. Woke up, read them, and I was laughing at the text with my best friend because the logic is so stupid. And then they start arguing at each other. It's like 1 minute they're moaning at me, and then they're arguing at each other. And I just woke up and I was tired, so I just felt like I got plugged into a different universe. Like, what the fuck's going on and what am I reading? But yeah, and then they're like bickering, and they're bickering at me or whatever. And then they said, oh, we've got all the Google receipts from your videos, just sending it to the police. Okay, don't care. But like, that's what I was saying about where they know a version of me that doesn't exist anymore. They think, oh, the police or we got your address is going to scare me, thinking I'm like a 10-year-old when I'm literally 21. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, the stuff that I went through when I was there and the stuff that he's done and she's done, if they called the police, they would need to get put in prison. The logic's not there. But yeah, and then she removed him from the group chat, and then me, and then yeah, no text since then. But to be honest, after like those 2 months, I totally forgot until he messaged me again. Because like I said, I moved on. They showed their true colours. I'm not trying to cling and hold on to something that's just going to damage me. It's like, I've used this analogy for a lot of things, but imagine a car. This car represents my dad and I'm the rope. And then he's trying to like play these mind games to like pull me, and I'm going to get dragged by the rope along the road. I'm going to start burning. So I'm self-sabotaging. I'm chasing something that I want, but not realising the damage it's causing me. So now they've like shown that they're basically the same people. It's like, I don't want that in my life. It doesn't matter if the label dad's there or how much I missed him or loved him. It's like, that's not enough to allow myself to be treated disrespectfully of how much disrespect I've tolerated throughout my life. So I just totally forgot. I'm thinking more of like when my next break is, when my shift's gonna end, like what am I gonna do with my money? Like, yeah, I'm more thinking of that, and then I've got fucking people yapping at me. So I've just ignored it all because that's the best thing. I'm not enticing it. I'm not causing them any fucking trouble. Well, it looks like it, to be honest, by ignoring them, but I'm not causing myself any trouble or anything like that. So then, moving on from that, with the money, obviously, I said about boxing, I said about trying out like music singing lessons, getting a camera for photography. I've got my new phone, so I don't necessarily see that as a priority right now. But like singing lessons, like dancing lessons, just experiencing stuff, like investing it in some way, bulking for gym, stuff like that, traveling, a tattoo. These are all different things that are in my mind, and it's like, okay, if I'm tired to go gym, when am I going to do boxing and go gym? And then when am I going to do a bulk for a food shop? When am I going to have all this time? And it's like a car as well, but with me, I live like near everything that I need, so I don't necessarily need a car. So that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm just paying more for the fucking parking than the car itself. I'll pay more for parking than petrol because everything's like close. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna get a car, like, but I don't think I necessarily need it. But yeah. Anyway, so it's like I have all these different things. It's like now I've had a taste of work. I've heard people say like, "Oh, work's hard, it's stressful." And before I'd be like, "Oh, you had to do is scan this. All you had to do is stand there. All you had to do is make coffees." And then now I'm like been smacked in the mouth and I had to taste my own medicine. That damn, yeah, I've eaten my words and I was being really judgmental because it is stressful. As someone who likes to look at the positive things in life and stuff like that, it does get to you. It's not like Mission Impossible where it's like I feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But for me, especially just having so much free time to now doing this, even when it's only 20 hours, imagine these people do full time. I saw someone on the road type had like 45 hours. Damn, they're putting in the work. It's like, imagine how stressful they are. And it's like, there's situations where you need to do that because you have a family, like kids. Obviously, I don't like have a kid, but obviously I have a girlfriend. But it's like, they're in situations where they have to do it and they literally have no escape. And it's crazy because I'm sitting and complaining. There's people in worse situations or in situations where they have to do this. Obviously, everybody has to have money to live, of course. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to survive. But that's what I say about tunnel visioning money. It's like everything costs money, but everything shouldn't be about money. I think that was like a quote that Floyd Mayweather said on like a podcast, and it was like actually like really stuck with me because I was like, I actually really agree with that. And he was talking about how he hangs around with like the same people when he did have money and now he does. When he didn't have money and now he does. But anyway, I'm going on a side tangent. So it's like I have all these goals for like what I'm going to do with my money. I think what I'm going to do is camera. I don't need. The phone I got now was 17 Pro. That was 15 Pro. Then I had 13 Pro and 11 Pro. It's a 2-year contract each time. It's £96 a month, but I get roughly 900, maybe £1,000 a month because I'm doing a little over 20 hours. It's like 20 to 23. So it's kind of like, and if it's £13 an hour, if I'm doing an extra 3 hours, that's 13, 26, 39. And if I do that a couple times, what do you call it, each month, and then it could add up to 1,000, maybe. But obviously today I won't get today's payment. Obviously it's supposed to go in. So 10-hour shift, but a 30-minute break, so 9.5 hours. £13 an hour for 10 hours would be 130. But a half an hour break, you would. I don't know if you don't get paid for your break, so I don't know how they would split that. Do they split it in half? Like instead of £13, I get £7.50. I don't know, but either way, I'm obviously not getting today's payment because obviously just wasn't feeling well or feeling the greatest. This is going to be my longest, I think, video on here of actually talking. Good podcast, but yeah, this is like a big mental catch up. Just I needed to, like, I just needed to talk to the camera. Definitely, like I haven't had that camera time or like time fully talk to myself because my brain's pinging about, honestly. Obviously spoke to friends, family, just where my head's at, stuff like that, of course. But me time, still important, obviously, to have me time. But with money, done my room. Obviously, it's Christmas, so I think I'm going to Christmas markets with like friends. And obviously get Christmas presents. And after that, I think there's a few little bits I might need for my room or for myself. I don't need clothes. It's my birthday in October. Well, I have so many clothes in that wardrobe. It's unreal, and I just don't wear half of them. I just wear the same fucking like vest, or like tops, for gym or whatever. So yeah, camera can wait, car can wait. I think the first thing I want to do is travel. I think that is. I've never been on holiday, and I'm 21. So it's like I think that is what I want to do. Is travel with my girlfriend. So he's obviously supposed to go this year, but I didn't work out. But where I've pretty much got everything for my room, and there's Christmas coming, so if there is any extra bits, I can like get it off my family or myself or whatever. It's kind of like, what am I going to do with that money? Do you know what I mean? So that's where I'm going to like save and like reinvest. Just save money for whatever I need, whether that's emergencies, whether that's me wanting to move out, whether that's for my car. Just I need to obviously save money. But saving your money isn't going to get you rich. You need to actually reinvest it and risk that money. And that's another step that I've got like come across, obviously risking that money and like spending it and maybe losing it. I'm gonna lose time, money and effort while working. And then maybe that's when I pick overtime, because you can pick overtime after 3 months, but how it is now is kind of like, I'm like, don't really want to be there, you know what I mean? But then there's things happen where it's like, you know what, this isn't as bad. I still haven't done tills, and I'm not like worried about it, but I'm still a bit like, because I just overcomplicate things in my head. But when I do the tills, if that's all good and that's all fine, it's kind of like, well, there's nothing really to worry about. I've pretty much done most things at the job. I just feel like I'm second guessing myself a lot at work. So like, when I'm on my own, I'm doing everything fine. Obviously, the first little bit, I was like, oh, you need to check the date or check this, and I've done a few things wrong. But now I'm like in the flow of it, I'm doing it pretty quickly. And when I'm on my own, it's fine. But when someone's like, oh, you've got red light on self-checkout, or you got this or that, it's like I'm being a bit slower, more cautious and careful, because I know they're going to be like watching me. So it's kind of like I can't work to the best of my ability. Not like I feel like they're judging me, whatever. I just feel like, say if they're like, go make sure you check all the dates, I'm like double checking them, and it will make me work slower rather than I'm like boom 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 boom. But you know, I guess it's training me. You know what I mean? I can't complain. I have a job. There's people out there who would die to have a job like me, fucking applying 2 to 3 years. But it's not as sunshine and rainbows as you think it is. But you're not there to make friends. You're there to work. You know what I mean? I'm grateful that I'm still getting quite a bit of money for myself while not having to do crazy hours. 10-hour shifts, whew, they kind of wipe you out, especially when like there was one where I had to clean after the shift and it took 40 minutes extra. Like for me, the shop already closed down and my feet were hurting. I do about like 10 to 20,000 steps when I'm at work, like each day, like walking there, walking in the shop, of course, and walking back home because I walk. So yeah, I think traveling is the number one thing. With gym, obviously I need to get back. Obviously I'm going a couple of times and then there'll be a few days, and then yeah, I built up 12 days of not going. That's not good. Where I work in the mornings now, I'm thinking of bringing my tripod and filming a gym video for like my workout routine. I think I'm going to change it. So what I do now is Monday is upper, Tuesday is lower, Wednesday is rest, Thursday's upper but chest and back. And then Friday is lower, and then Saturday is upper again. So instead of a rest, it's the second part of my upper, so I can put more volume on my arms. So it'd be shoulders, tricep and bicep. And at the moment I'm not doing forearms. I haven't done forearms in a while. That's so you can put more volume onto your arms if you want to do more sets of exercises. I wouldn't recommend switching your exercises all the time, because that actually can hinder your muscle growth, apparently from a lot of research I've done. It's obviously good to experiment and try, but then you see what works best for you and then stick with it for a while and then switch, not changing it like every 2 weeks, because like, and then how are you going to progress in that lift if you're not always constantly doing it and like maintaining good form if you're bouncing across the place, you know what I mean? It's like that saying where if you pour your energy into one thing compared to multiple things, the one that is like poured all the energy into one thing is going to be better. It's like that Bruce Lee quote as well. It's like, fear the man who's mastered one kick 1,000 times rather than the person who's mastered 1,000 kicks one time, or something like that. So yeah, that's why it's kind of like my brain's kind of like ping ponging about, because I'm thinking about when was my money gonna go, this, that, do you know what I mean? So camera can wait. Obviously gonna move out with my girlfriend eventually, but I want to have some decent income before I move out, so I don't just move out and I'm like fucking scraping off my fucking work money. I want to, in my head, I was thinking 5 to 10k a month, because I have high expectations for myself and my life. But obviously, the timing of that and the exact amount doesn't have to be the exact amount. I just want to have good stability before I can move out, rather than moving out and it's kind of like I'm only able to pay my rent because of my work money, and then I'm like, once I pay the bills, I haven't really got a lot left. I want to be able to still have money and reinvest it to obviously make more, because that's what the goal is here. Obviously, is to make more money, but it's a lot easier said than done. Not everybody makes it. I have belief. It's just I have to continue with my actions. Like I said, my drive is a little bit. My mental. Like I said, mentally, I am in a better place. Of course, from all those sad videos. Like, I'm not sad, I haven't been upset since, right? But I've been a little bit stressy, and I haven't had that mental catch-up time in terms of being purely alone with, like, no distractions. But other than that, I'm back to how I was before I got upset. I'm fine, I'm normal. It's just, I feel like, here and there, I just get a bit stressed with work. But, you know, that's not making me like, oh my god, I'm suicidal. It's not like that. So, we're back on track, which is good. That's obviously what I like to hear. I was about to say what we like to hear. What I like to hear, because you're just here for whatever you're here for. This is just a fucking massive fucking rant. So, if you do listen, thank you. But, yeah. So, I think traveling's the goal. I have lots of countries I want to go to, but obviously we've got to be realistic. Like, I'm not going to fucking Dubai. You know what I mean? Where it's a bit colder, it would have to be like, I guess it could be like Paris, it could be like Prague, like places like that. I'm really in like a festive mood this year. I keep seeing TikTok videos of like Christmas in New York or London. That's why I want to go to the like food markets and stuff for Christmas, like the Christmas event, because it looks really cool. But yeah, having the money does feel good because I can actually help myself, help others, stuff like that. But at the same time, when you're at work, you're like in the present, but not like you're there, and I'm thinking about work, but it's autopilot. Like, I need to do this, I need to do that. So I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm here for the money. And now I've kind of like got everything that I pretty much need. It's kind of like, what's the point of working? But it's the future. That's what I mean. I'm doing this now for the future me, so I can actually have a setup. I have a friend who does like trading, does stocks. They've sold things before. He's an IT technician, so like he said he can help me reinvest my money and stuff like that. So that's good if like I'm trying to go down that route. But it's obviously figuring out what to do. Obviously, you need to get back on track for content. I have different ideas. Not crazy loads. Like I said, I haven't had that much downtime, but I've got lots of like ideas. That makes no sense. I don't have lots of ideas. I have lots of ideas. You can tell my brain's a bit foggy, but yeah, I've got ideas in my notes. One of them being a gym workout. Obviously, I need to actually fucking go to the gym to do that, but yeah. So with my sleep, obviously, I need to sort that stuff out. Like, it's just muddled. Even if I have a good sleep, I'm still tired. So it's not even always the fact that sometimes I stay up late. Obviously, go gym. Obviously, me being tired isn't going to help either work and then or gym. So there are things that obviously I can do. And then save my money and like reinvest it. Obviously, that's another thing. Obviously, travel. And then car, wait. Save money to move out, wait. Camera can wait. Tattoo, I was thinking again a tattoo, but I want something like kind of maybe Japanesey or anime or like some font. I was thinking of something called Kaizen in Japanese font, and it means the philosophy of self-improvement. And I was thinking of having it here, but you know, a neck tattoo is my first one. I don't know. I feel like maybe I should start small. Maybe like my girlfriend's like name on my wrist or something like that. But yeah, that's another idea. And then boxing. What do you call it? I didn't want to do that just so I know I can like defend myself and like people around me and like, you know, try it. It's all about experience. I don't know when I'm gonna do that. I'll be so honest. It's all about doing one thing and then focusing on the next. If I'm like, oh, do that, and then I do this, and then that's where it's like I get some other that. And then with like the dancing or like singing, because I have a song as well, but I just haven't continued on that for a bit. I was supposed to do that fucking years ago. But yeah, the song is just about my trauma growing up as a child and like my past self and how I've evolved from that and how it's helped. So that's basically like the premises of like the song. But yeah, that's like the plan for my money. That's like my improvement in like my mental, like my state of mind, where I'm at and where I'm heading and where I've come from. Because obviously I wasn't in a good spot. Now I'm in a much better spot. How I was before, I'm normal, I'm happy, but a little bit stressy here and there at work. And yeah, they're like the goals and things I want to do. I'm just thinking if there's anything I missed. I want to do like a room tour video. I did say that. I want to do it in a separate video because I don't know if I'm going to be talking on it or not. Like saying, look, I'm 21. This is my living condition, stuff like that. And then when I look back, when I have a better house, it's kind of like this is what I've come from. Because I've moved so many times. I've moved like since I've been here, like maybe like 15, 20 times. And that's not including where I lived like before, when I used to live in Essex and stuff, and when I lived with my dad. So it's like I've moved a lot. But I'm trying to think if there's anything. Started work, got contact with my dad, but now obviously no contact. Had 2 interviews, plans for my money, where my head's at. Stuff I'm procrastinating on, like I said, I'm hoovering now. I've done the video. I've got content ideas on the way. Obviously gonna sort my sleep and stuff. And obviously gym, of course. I'm gonna continue going to gym. It's just I'm having a little bit of an iffy patch where I'm just like, And then obviously I've been gaming. Like I said, I'm basically gaming like normal. Gaming, maybe not normal. I'm not going to bed at 11 a.m. then waking up 1 p.m. I'm not doing that. But some days I still stay up late. I'm not going to lie, whether that's scrolling or that. But when I have work, I make sure I get good sleep. It'll be on an off day, and I don't play like every single day. But I still play a lot. It'll be like every other day, or I do play. But okay, let me reword it. I do play a lot. It's either every day or every other day. But like some days I have work, so it may not be that much because obviously work naturally cuts it out. So I'm still playing quite a bit, but it's cut out naturally from work and like my sleep. So yeah, picked it back up. Obviously, it's something that I do need to get rid of when well, you're never ready to get rid of this shit. That's why it's so hard to obviously get rid of for certain people. That's why like drugs are so hard for people to get off and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, it's just like it is something that will hinder my progress a lot, as we know from the last like videos I've done of like when I was gaming and stuff like that. But for now, life's like smooth sailing. I was in that rough patch, now it's gone up, and now we're making some progress, which is fucking amazing. It was 2-3 years of no job applying, we finally got one. And then we had an interview, but we didn't get it. And then, even though I'm not talking to my dad anymore, and I'm long gone past that, and I don't care about contacting him again, I still appreciate the text that we did have, and the talking we did have for those few days, or like that week. Because, you know, that could be the last time I talk to him. Who knows? And I appreciate that. At least I got to speak to him one more time. But, you know, someone who actually cares about myself, I can't let myself take that disrespect. So I've got to move on. But like I said, at the moment, hasn't really affected me at all in the slightest. If anything, I'm grateful for that as well. It's showing their true colours. But maybe in the future, it'll creep up on me and I get down and I get upset again. Who knows? Because, like I said, what's so different about this time to last time when he disrespected me? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I got upset then, but still, like, wanted to see him. And then I had contact with him and he's been disrespectful. But, you know, I feel like where he's naturally my dad, I feel like it will naturally creep up some point in the future, like, damn, I wonder what he's doing now. You know what I mean? Or like, damn, I'm 25, wonder. But there's so many bigger things in my life going on, and so many bigger things that are going to happen, and things I need to do, that is just like, if it happens, it happens, because I'm not reaching out. So it's more of a down to him thing, which I know that's not happening. So that's why I can't self-sabotage myself for clinging on to something that I know won't happen. But can't wait to go on a holiday. I'm really excited. I haven't planned it. I haven't got any clothes or anything like that. That's what I want to do first. That is what I want to do. Have a nice holiday and experience something I've not experienced. But yeah, that's the mental catch up. That's the yippity yap of 1 hour and 5 minutes. The angle's different, like I said, 'cause what I was recording it on. I'm actually saying yapped for 1 hour, jeez. If anyone listens to it, I appreciate it. This is so like, all my videos aren't edited. Well, there might be edits of me adding something to it, but they're not cut. But I feel like this one is just so sporadic. I'm talking so fast, I'm yapping. It's just proper authentic. So if you can put up with me yapping for 1 hour, thank you. But yeah, my dinner's done, and I need to move my room, so I'm going to do that, and I'll see you guys hopefully soon, if my arse actually starts filming videos. I will be, don't worry. I just don't know when or how consistent, but I know I'll be filming content. I've got the camera for it. I've got the camera for it, and this is obviously the check mark to boom, update everyone, and to obviously have for me to look back on, and to actually like break the cycle of just procrastinating. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.